high definition, new video. Okay guys, taking off where we left off in our last video. We're still trying to get the voltage up as high as possible, doing different experiments to see which is the best way to do that. In our last video I had just a coil here. Now I've added this additional windings down here. I do not have these windings down here attached yet, so this is still our old setup from the last video. We're going to be trying this later in the video, seeing what happens with this added stuff here, which I'll probably have to readjust that copper tube in there. Okay, anyhow, I just want to show you this real quick. Okay, this was this circuit, right? The Joe Tate, no ground. We're just gonna check. I need both hands. Okay, I'm gonna hook this up and we're gonna show you how much voltage we get just off of that. Okay, so with just this circuit, no ground, just an antenna wire, got about 4.3 volts. And now this is our ground. Let's connect to ground. 4.3 volts without ground. Add ground, instantly going up. I'll be right back. Let's see how far that goes. Okay, we're back about 1 minute later. 7.8 volts. That's with the ground. 7.9, almost 8. It almost doubled with the ground. Okay, now this is the interesting part. I'll be right back, and we can connect this coil into there. This coil down here again is not connected into the circuit. We're just using these two up here right now. Okay, let's see what that does. Okay, just connected the coil in there now. Not the bottom section, those two, the same ones we've been using now. And we have a ground. There's 13 volts. Okay, we'll be right back. Let's see how high that goes. I want to show you guys something here. Okay, we're about 3 minutes later. And now, as you can see, we're up to 26.2 volts. 0.4. It's going up a little bit now. I think the sun just went behind a cloud. More clouds, more voltage. Yeah. Alright, it was settling there. I'll be back in 1 more minute. We got to get this till it settles out here. Oh, there we go. Just as soon as I spoke. Alright, let's say 27 volts. Just round it off here. It goes up a little bit, goes down a little bit. Alright, so now you remember, without any coils and without a ground, only an antenna, we had like 4 volts. And then we connected our ground, and then we doubled it. We got close to 8 volts. Okay, and then we connected our coil in there. 26.8 right now. 0.9. Yeah, again we're fluctuating. Alright, anyhow, now I'm gonna take this ground back off. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. Now the voltage is going up even higher. Now, I'm trying to understand what's going on there. And if we don't have the coil in there, we get twice as much voltage with a ground. But with the coil in there, we get more voltage without the ground. We're probably going to go up to 30 or more. I don't know, it's got something to do with the ground rod going through that coil or something. So that's interesting. Just wanted to show you that. Alright, we're still going up. Okay, now yeah, it's fluctuating right there, about 30 volts. Okay, now let me show you this. Okay, now I've just attached the Cockcroft-Walton voltage multiplier, and it's basically does the same thing as the other circuit, but interesting how they react. Now this has only got an antenna on it right now, no ground, no coils, just like we did with the other circuit. Okay, it's fluctuating a little bit there and there. 4.3, 4.5. Okay, now let's see, what's the next thing? Now we connect our ground, which goes right up here. There we go. Voltage shot right up there. Lots of fluctuation now. Wow, like 3 volts fluctuating. Okay, now let's connect the coils into this circuit and see what happens. Okay, I just connected the coils in there now. Now it dropped back down. So it's just odd, I guess, that with the other circuit we add the coils, the voltage goes way up. With this circuit we add the coils and the voltage drops down. So that's interesting there. And then also interesting that with the first circuit, without the coils and without a ground, you get 4. You add the ground, you get even more voltage. But once you add the coils, then you get most voltage without a ground. So if anybody can explain any of that, it's kind of strange stuff going on there. I'm trying to understand it. A lot of science going on, right? A lot of physics. Alright, so anyhow, we're going to try something else here. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, right now we just got the one circuit, the coils, the antenna, and no ground. This is the way just a little while ago we had like 30 volts. Now we got 26.7. Changes a little bit. The sun comes out, goes behind a cloud. Okay, so now I'm going to attach the second circuit. Now this one I got to connect to the antenna too. And this side I'm going to connect to this side of the circuit here. And this meter probe we're going to move over to this end. Now watch what happens with this voltage. Well, first it's going to go down because I'm disconnecting a clip. And there we go. 30, 31, 32. Oh, why can you see? Oh my God, the sun keeps messing up my view. 20, 32, 0.8, 0.9, 33, 33.1, 765. Now it's dropping. 32.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4. It's dropping and dropping right now. Let's see, it should drop down to a little bit higher, 1 or 2 volts above where it was just a second ago with only one circuit. And I've repeated this experiment quite a few times. As soon as I connect it on, it jumps up about 8 volts and then goes back down about 5 or 6. We do wind up gaining about 2 volts out of it. And it's still dropping now. But it's just interesting that as soon as you put it on, it rises. It's still dropping. I'm trying to remember where we were at now with just the one circuit, like 26 volts. Let's see, let's connect the ground on one of these. It shouldn't matter which one. 25.7, it's still dropping. Let's put our ground back on. 25.3, 2, 1. Now dropping even faster. So that's it. Just wanted to show you that. Some interesting things here. Now we're going to go on to doing some more. Well, for right now, we'll just remove this circuit. Just keep the one. And we're going to experiment around with the coil a little more now. Okay. We got the top coil section, not the bottom yet. It's not connected in yet. Just the one circuit. No ground. Oh, come on. There it is. 33.5 volts. Close to what we had the other day at the end of my last video, which was 35 volts. But now, give me 1 second here, and we're going to attach in the rest of this coil, extending this coil longer. This red one right here is going to connect to there, and this one's going to connect. It's hard to see the other wire down there. So let me connect in that last section of coil here and see what happens. Okay, I just connected it in there. It's dropping fast. Alright, I kind of expected that, because well, we only had 33.5 volts today as opposed to 35. Could be just because it's a different day, a little bit different weather conditions. I don't know, seems about the same. But anyhow, you know, this black tape, it's been like close to 100 degrees the last few days, so this pipe has actually dropped down about a ½ inch, and that could cause us to lose a couple volts off of there. But it's still dropping down. Okay, guess I expected that though, because we're probably going to have to readjust our tuning tube there now. So I'll be right back. Let me play around with the tuning on there. We'll be right back. Just wanted to show you one more thing here before I start tuning everything again. Since I added that last section of coil there, I didn't show the final results, and I'm quite surprised, but wow, that dropped all the way down to 7.8 volts from what, 33.5. So that's quite a difference. So hopefully the tuning will make a huge difference here. I think it will. Plus, I wanted to show you, I got this rod from my work. It's a solid bar, steel. Now I measured. Now if I go with that solid bar, I'm gonna remove this tube here. This is our grounding rod, this is the tube, so I would remove this tube. Now the distance from this rod over to this wall, in between here and here, is 1.450 inches. So I was fortunate enough to find a rod that is 1.437 inches. So otherwise I would have had to have 1.5 inches and turn the whole thing down, hold it by some centers, put it in one of our big lathes. And anyhow, so we're going to be trying that too. So first I'm going to adjust that tube in there and see if we can get above our 33 volts. Then I'll take that out and I'll show you the results from that. Then we'll take that out and put this one in and see what happens. It's going to be hard to hold up, especially with some tape. I'm probably going to drop that bar, that big rod, solid bar down in there so far, and then I'll have to think of some kind of wood spacer to stick down inside there to hold the bar at the right height. But anyhow, all right, wish me luck. We'll be right back and see if we could tune this up and get more voltage here. Okay, after adjusting this tube in there to the best position possible, we're still only, say, 8.5 volts. So I don't like the added coil. I wonder if I gotta raise the coil up now, or maybe I just had the right amount of induction. Let me add the ground back on, even though before we added that extra coil we had the best voltage without the ground. So let me see here, connect that up. Oh, now it's going up. Alright. We'll be right back. Let's see where that settles in at. Okay, seems to be relaxed about there. It didn't take long, 2 minutes. It's still going up. It went down a little bit to just over 10 volts. So that's strange. Right now, after we added the extra coil, we get more voltage with the ground connected. Only a couple volts. Without the coil, we get a better voltage, higher voltage reading without the ground. I was thinking, well, are we like magnetically coupling to the ground rod through the coil? But now we're not in tune? I don't know, this is strange. But now that I just connected the ground back on, we got a couple more volts. I'm gonna try adjusting that rod again. I still have not tried this rod, but we're still nowhere near the 35 volts we had in the previous video. So yeah, let me try adjusting that one more time, see what happens. Keeping the ground rod or ground connected here. Okay, that's it. About 11 volts. It's going up a little bit more. So, alright. So I'm gonna remove this and try this rod in there. If those results are no good, we're gonna have to disconnect that bottom section of coil again. Alright, we'll be right back. I'll think about this. Okay, I was getting ready to put this rod in. We took this tube out. Yeah, we're down to 8 volts again. I also just tried putting this under there, raising this up, and that did not change anything. But I, noticed, of course, my hand changes things. I'm gonna touch it right down here on this bottom. We're at 8.2. All right, making contact now. You can see it's dropping. All right, let go. Let me touch right here. Watch this. Let's see. Dropping. All right. Now I'm going to touch about right here. It's like my hand is acting as like a wiper across there, like a tuning coil. I've had this happen before, and I was wondering, how can I mimic this? How can I mimic my hand? Put a couple coils around there and connect them to ground, or But anyhow, okay guys, we're gonna try that rod in there right now and see what happens. Okay, we got that big rod in there. I forget about how far in it is. But this is about the best spot. Lots of adjusting, checking it out. And we're only at like 13.3 volts. Let's try removing the ground again. No, it's dropping. Alright, so we got to think about this. So basically, that additional coil on the bottom, which I was hoping would help, is not. So maybe we just got lucky and have very close to the right induction already. Thinking about removing windings, going back to this section. We know more didn't work. It wasn't better, but would less be better? I really hate to unwind that. So 35 volts so far. Alright, let me think about this, guys. It's a really hot day out here today. I'm moving twice as slow. As you can see, I'm in my lab right now. I'm just showing you it's 111 degrees, 0.3. That's in my lab. Pretty dang hot outside too. It's funny, my friend lives in Arizona, and he just sent me this on my phone. So I told him, yeah, I remember this old saying. It says, I had no shoes and complained until I met a man who had no feet. Well, I think I'm dying here, man. I can't imagine what he's going through right now. But alright, let me think about the next experiments here. Okay, now we're back to just using this much of the coil. That much we're leaving out. So we had the best results with this section. So that's what's connected now. And normally we would have our copper tube in there. And I found the right type of clamp just to put on there to help me hold that sucker up because it's heavy. But we're about 26 volts. It's still a ways away from our 35 volts we had. Looks like we had the best results with that copper tube in there. So we're gonna have to think of some more ideas to try. I could put that copper tube back in there And I could stick some more. There's some rods I have right there. Some other copper rods I could stick inside that copper tube. But other than that, the only thing we could do now is... Dang dogs. The only thing we could do now is to try some new things. Which I still have some ideas up my sleeve. So, alright, I like a comment out there from Thewonn. He's been with me for many years. He's replicated this setup too, but he used, instead of a long antenna, he used many sheets of aluminum foil hanging on his wall. And that works too. The more surface area, the better. So he was actually able to do it indoors. I think he just connected to a water pipe or the ground in his house or something. But yeah, he's got some good suggestions. So we'll see. We'll keep going here. Let me think about what to do next. Yeah, so far, no good results by adding extra coil. No better results from adding a solid iron bar. Well, it's not pure iron, but you know what I mean. Anyhow, yeah, so anyhow. Okay, so before I take this big rod out, I was just experimenting here. This is a rod magnet. It's gold colored, huh? Anyhow, we're still at 26 volts, and I'm gonna start pushing this down. No better results with that. Alright, let's try one more thing. I've got a ferrite rod here. As you can see, in comparison to my finger, it's really not that large. Actually, it was twice as long before I broke it years ago. I've got it on some tape here just so I can kind of drop it down inside that tube. Okay, and we're going to try this ferrite rod and a magnet again without that big solid core in there. But let's see here. Oh, get in there. Oh, hang on. Alright, there we go. Get inside there. Hold on. Alright. Lowering it down very slowly right now. So far it's not good. Unless we hit a sweet spot. Wait, there it's going back up. Wait, alright, I'm all the way in right now, so let me, let's see, how far is that down inside there? We're hanging down. We're at the end of the coil anyhow. This bottom one's not attached. Huh. Yeah, what if I hang it on the outside? No. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm going to make this a little bit longer here, see what happens. Alright, let's watch this with the ferrite rod one more time. Okay, I'm lowering it. Still dropping. Lowering it. Okay, right there it's fluctuating. Let's go a little lower. Alright, I'm stopping right there. Alright, we'll be back in a minute. I'll let you see the final results here. Alright, so ferrite rod, no good. Not really increasing anything. Maybe it will work better without that solid rod. Alright, we'll be back, guys. Alright, guys. I tried just the magnet and just the ferrite rod. Ferrite. Did not work any better. We got our copper tube back in there, and that works a lot better than that rod, than the solid iron rod. We're back over 35 volts. Thank God the weather's changing. I keep hearing some thunder. It's getting cloudy out. It's usually when I get the best voltage too. Like Benjamin Franklin. So let's try this real quick here. I have these two copper rods here, and let's see if we can get this lined up there. Whoop. Hang on. Not easy to do while I'm holding the camera. Hold on. Oh, they just fit inside there. Okay. I'm gonna drop them down in there. Whoops, hold on. Sorry about the filming. Okay, they're right there. It should be even with this tube, because I already took measurements. So those rods are going right to the bottom of this tube. Not much difference. .5 volts. But it definitely likes this copper tube a lot better than that iron rod. Huh. Alright, guys. It looks like it might start raining on me soon. It's been a long, hot day. Thank God it's cooled off, though. Well, 35.5. I was hoping to have that much better today. I really thought adding that extra coil was going to help, but it didn't. And I was really hoping that would help, but it didn't. So, on to new ideas. Let's see, I'm just adjusting this a little bit straighter. Wow, sudden jump. Huh. Sun just peeked through the clouds. But it usually likes clouds. Well, we got a lot of clouds and a little sun, so maybe that's a perfect combination. I don't know. Okay, guys. We'll see you again soon. 36.25. Yeah, let's end it there. We'll see you again soon. Take care.